obviously it's timed in terms of how much time you've got to lose rather than losing a position. And Alvino clearly didn't lose enough. He's back behind, back ahead now of Arenas, and Arbolino in the background. Looks like he's now got through on Albert Arenas. So Arbolino now up into the top 6.
So at the moment, as it stands, Jake Dixon on course for one of his best Grand Prix finish. You just saw there that graphic. A whole bunch of third places. Second, no, not what he's here for. Lights out, and we are go. Lopez then starting from pole position, gets a superb launch. Look at Lopez charging towards that first corner. Iago already fast away too far on the team Asia. He's got through on Dixon. Looks like Fermin Aldiger, who started fourth, has stayed in fourth place. Chantra has made a good start as well. He's gone from 7th to 5th place, trying to find out where Arbolino. He's coming through quick as well.
He's just behind his teammate Sam Rose, I think. 2 of 5 BS riders are in 8th and 9th. They're behind Pedro Acosta. Acosta lost a place on the line, and Arbolino did not make his usual progress.
Look at Lopez, look at the daylight already. He's got coming out as they power out of the Struben corner. Fantastic opening sector for Lopez. He's already been 6.5 tenths clear of Iago in 2nd place. Arenas on the inside of Aldiger. That was pretty aggressive going through 6 and 7. Arbolino now and Chantra alien each other. On the curve there goes Arbolino. He's trying to fight back now. Top of the circuit through turn number 8. Good really scrap this by Arbolino. He's got the better of Chantra.
And they're both ahead of Acosta. Acosta lost places coming into the Struben, so he's now back behind Arbolino in 7th place. He's now through on Chantra, connects up behind him as well. Here comes Acosta, looking to get past Arbolino quickly. He passed him on the first lap in the Saxony. That's for the lead. This time it's for 6th.
More first lap magic again from Arbolino. He's so good off the line and aggressive in those first 3, 4, 5 corners. But look at Lopez, the top 3 here, already starting to break away. Lopez leads by nearly 7 tenths of a second in this fast final sector here in Assen. We're on board with Pedro Acosta. This is going to get feisty. On the brakes into the final corner we go. It's Arbolino versus Acosta.
Acosta's through.
Yeah, Acosta came through. But we go a little bit further back to find Sergio Garcia. Over the line there. It's a stunning first lap for the poleman. Alonso Lopez, 6.5 tenths clear he is. Arbolino tries to find a way back through on the Costa. It's getting really tight between the 2 top men in this championship. Lopez has it by 7 tenths from Magura, who's a 10th clear of Dixon.
The 2 championship contenders watching each other at the moment. Acosta now looking to try and get past his teammate Albert Arenas and giving himself a little bit of breathing space between himself and Arbolino. Sam Lowe's has lost ground there. You can just see him coming through the frame on the first lap. He's back to 11th position.
What position they wants to be fighting for, but this is great for the neutrals, isn't it? Great for the fans to see Acosta and Arbolino going toe-to-toe very early in their latest heavyweight showdown here in Assen. The runaway lead, the man who got the perfect launch from pole position. And boy, is he capitalising on that. Alonso Lopez now 3/4 of a second clear of Magura, halfway around this lap number 2. A long way to go in these physically taxing conditions here in Assen, but Lopez has made the dream first lap and a half.
Yeah, Dixon keen to get past Agura as quickly as possible to try and close that gap back down. And we know Agura is a difficult rider to overtake. So good, particularly on the brakes. As we try to see what's going on further back, Arenas is still ahead of Acosta as the 2 Red Bull KTM air machines run lines down. But Acosta has put a bit of breathing space between himself and Arbolino.
This is into the timber chicane then. Acosta versus Arbolino on the inside. That's going to be done by Acosta. There's plenty of room there. He's screamed through on the inside of Arbolino and the Italian. Back at the timber chicane then for the 2nd lap of 22. It's going to be Lopez with a pretty comfortable margin back to Agura. In fact, the top 2 men are getting on with this, and so is Pedro Acosta. Acosta finds a 1:36.718. He now finds a way through his teammate Arenas as well. So Pedro Acosta has got into a really strong early rhythm here. Acosta up to 5th.
The news is even better than that for Pedro Acosta. Connect got past Arbolino on that 2nd lap as his teammate Sergio Garcia comes in for the first of 2 long lap penalties. But Arbolino, after that early progress, actually lost a place on that 2nd lap. He's back to 8th position now, so 2 bites between himself and Acosta.
Dixon still at the moment can't get through on Iago. How long they're going to hang in there, given how weak that left wrist is. Career-threatening injury pre-season. He was motocross blading in Barcelona. Acosta trying to make light work of Aldiger directly ahead of him. If Aldiger can hold Acosta, just be playing in the hands of his teammate Alonso Lopez. Not that he will care about that right now, because if Acosta can get through them with a bit of clear track to hunt down that top 3, well, he's shown the speed to do that. No way through on Aldiger as they go into the ball for the 2nd time.
Arbolino is now back ahead of Anka in the back of the picture. He got past him on the Weinschlang down to Rushken Hook. So Arbolino runs in 7th place. On that 2nd lap, Agura did come back at Alonso Lopez a little bit, so that lead did close back down to 6 tenths of a second. So there's no need to panic for Jake Dixon.
can do. He'd have heard and seen Acosta coming through, and now Aldeguer has to slow right and he puts his hand up here. That's sensible riding from him there. He caught the chicane there, did he? And just now slots in behind Alberto Reina. Saw there's a snap on the brakes there. With the big front lock by the looks of it for Canet, and he almost ran the back of Tony Arbolino. Scare there going into the first corner. So now then, let's see what Acosta can do. He's finally dispensed of Aldeguer with a beautifully crafted move on the brakes of the Dutch chicane. It was all set up though with its corner speed momentum through 15. In this first sector, he's going to come through very, very quickly. I'm just going to keep a close eye on the gap between Acosta and Dixon as we start powering up towards the Bankschlag on this lap number 4. The gap between them is 1.3 seconds, so he's got time, 19 laps to do it, but that is already quite a big chasm to the top 3.
Canet made another mistake on that first lap. He's dropped to 10th now, so Chantra and Gonzalez are through on him. As we now look through the second sector, Acosta is put a little bit of time back on Dixon. Dixon, I'm sure, will be getting a message on his pit board this time round to tell him that the rider immediately behind him now is Pedro Acosta. I'm sure Dixon will expect to start closing in on that leading trio. The interesting fact, the unknown quantity in this leading group in many ways is Aguro. We've not seen in the leading group so far this season. He certainly looks like he's back on form this weekend. Can he have a say in who wins this Grand Prix?
Arbolino not the race at the moment. His previous lap was a 1:37.2, which was nearly half a second slower than your race leader Alonso Lopez. 3/10 adrift of Acosta's pace. Of course now he did that 1:36.7 flat. Acosta while trying to work his way through Aldeguer as well, picking his way through some traffic. Arbolino got the close enough here to get through Aldeguer and finish game just as Acosta did on the previous lap. Lopez all over the line in the start, lap 5. He's just over 4/10 ahead of Agura. Dixon has found some really good speed now at this early stage of the race. He's just on his PB lap of the Grand Prix, 1:36.729. We do know Jake Dixon always comes on really, really strong in the second half of the race. He's been very, very good at time management, which is going to be fundamental in this long 22-lap race, particularly in the hottest conditions of the weekend. So Dixon, he's kept himself right in this early battle. Normally, we've seen him drop sort of maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds adrift early on, but at the moment, right in the game, and with his tendency to come on strong in the latter stages, Dixon's got a great shot here.
Pedro Acosta on that last lap, then with clear time ahead of him, was as quick as the leading 3 ahead of him, but not as quicker. So he remains 1.9 seconds off the race lead and 1.3 at the start of this lap behind the rider on board with now Jake Dixon. As I say, Dixon doesn't need to rush at this stage. You can see not only Agura ahead of him, but you can see that they're staying very much in touch with Alonso Lopez, who led this Grand Prix last year, didn't he? It was the first time really we saw Alonso Lopez lead in Moto2 last year, so he's certainly comfortable at the front of the field. But how much longer will he be there? Through the second sector on this lap, that lead is still around 4/10 of a second.
It's a heartwarming sight as to see Agura right back at the sharp end in Moto2 after that serious pre-season wrist injury. Dixon builds speed, builds momentum. Agura just about stands firm and was literally the fastest part of this magnificent Assen circuit through 13, 14, 50. It really does make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Agura, of course, who had a dreadful conclusion for 2022, fighting Augusto Fernandez for the title. He crashed out of the lead in Sepang and then crashed out in Valencia to lose the championship battle. It's been a wretched start to 2023 for him, but he's putting all that behind him right now to keep himself in the hunt for his first win of the season.
That time around, Pedro Acosta was quicker, a couple of tenths quicker than the trio up ahead of him, wasn't it? 1:37.2. His fastest rider on circuit at the moment is Aaron Canet, who's managed to recover from those couple of mistakes. He's still in 8th place, closing back on the tail of Tony Arbolino, who's still struggling to deal with Aldeguer in that battle for 6th place.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a demoralising day so far for Tony Arbolino. As he mentioned, he has not been at the races as the top trio then sweep through turns 6 and 7. Another brilliant part of this 4.5 Moto2 Assen circuit. It's all about you. Join the dots, isn't it? Hookey braking markers. The last sector, the old classic, old-fashioned Assen, which has remained pretty much untouched over the last few years. It wasn't part of the revamp here, the last major revamp of Assen in 2006. This is, as we mentioned, the brilliant part of Assen that the top 3 men are coming towards now. Acosta is making a bit of headway here in terms of the battle for the podium. He started this lap 1.1 seconds behind Dixon through the second split. He was down to 8 tenths, although Dixon has responded and found about a 10th and a half in the third sector. That's where Agura and Dixon slightly have the measure of Acosta currently in Assen.
I mentioned a moment ago that it's been a tough day for Tony Arbolino. It's a shocking day in general for BBS at the moment, because Sam Lowe's on the last lap lost 3 places. He had a terrible lap, did a 1:38.6 on the last lap, did Sam Lowe, so he lost the way back to 14th place. So Marvin, yes, having their toughest afternoon of the season by quite some margin.
Yeah, Lowe's is getting worse for him as well. He's in the 38th again. So he's having a nightmare. Balton's now taken him to 14th place. So yeah, a bit of a struggle at the moment for some ways, not the way that he was wanting to end this European triple header, as Acosta now is just starting to eke into that advantage. He's need towards Dixon already. You can see there he tried to get the power down with a bit of lean angle on the exit of that first gear turn 5. There was a bit of a moment there, a bit of wheel spin on that rear tyre for Fermin Alligator. Fair play to him, it's just at his best level of the race so far on 136.737. That's keeping him inside that top 6. It's just on smart screens. Alligator has a long lap penalty coming his way. He's getting that message on the dashboard. Well, that's a bit of a gift, isn't it, for Tony Arbolino?
Wasn't that shortcut at the chicane, was it? We did see him put his hand up and try and limit the damage, but clearly didn't lose up enough, because we haven't really seen anything else go on for Alligator. And it is a shortcut at turn 17, which is the middle of that Timmer chicane. So that will move him out of that 6th place. Shame for Alligator, because he was the fastest rider on circuit last time around.
Shame for Alligator, but it's going to be another position gain without working for it for Tony Arbolino, which means, of course, more vital World Championship points. There is confirmation on your screens, and another 54 will have to take the long lap penalty loop. This just gets a feel that it's all starting to concertina up a little bit, starting to bunch up back at the front here. It's not a long way to go here in Assen, 15 laps to go. Alonso Lopez has led all 7 of them so far, having got the great start from pole position. But now the gap between the top 4 over the line at the start of this lap 8 is under a second for the first time. Acosta in 4th, 9/10 of a second back. There is Alligator then. We've got that mesh on his dashboard this time around. It's a pretty busy lap around this circuit, of course. You don't get much time to relax. I mean, classic case back window in the sprint yesterday. He got a very early track limits warning, didn't see it, and then of course exceeded the track limit on the final lap. Then he lost 3 seconds at the end of the sprint, got from 3rd to 5th place. Now this is a battle between Alligator and Arenas, which Alligator is not in really, is he, with a long lap penalty looming?
He's not letting it bother him. Through on Arenas there into Strub. And I wonder if Jake Dixon might suddenly start getting on with this and getting a busy win at Agora, because they lost 4/10 of a second to Cathedral of Speed last lap. Dixon will surely be aware now that the number 37 is now right on the back of him, and surely Acosta, when he gets there, will be keen to attack as early as possible. So Dixon goes down the pace to go past Agora. Surely he's going to try it very soon, as Tony Arbolino tries to deal with the teammate of his title rival, Pedro Acosta. Arenas, who holds 6th.
Yeah, the way this is going, if Arbolino doesn't get a hurry up here, he may well be losing the World Championship going into summer break. If Acosta can find his way to the front of this race. This is a pretty intense fight raging at the moment for 5th place. It's involving Alligator, Arenas, Arbolino and Canet, who's right at the back there in 8th place. Alligator, of course, does have to come through the long lap penalty loop. It's another lap being led by Lopez then. Over the line we go. It was close to track this there, wasn't he? Coming back the chicane was Alligator. So too was Canet, who tried to find a way through. Alright, here we go then. Agora. Dixon's gone through on Agora into the first corner. So Dixon now sensing that Acosta is coming. He's going to get the pit board about the 37's hot streak. And Dixon for the first time finds himself up in the P2. What can he do now? About a near 3/10 gap to Lopez at the front. Acosta is wide there. Looked like he might have actually tucked the front going into turn number 5. Gathers it all back up, but that's going to cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, through that first sector, Acosta about a quarter of a second to the group ahead of him. In fact, he lost more than that compared to Ayagura. He was half a second down at the start of the lap, and he's now the best part of a second adrift of that leading trio. Alligator, who's not come through for that long lap penalty yet. Let's hope he's seen it, and then he knows he's going to come through that long lap penalty. But he'll probably think to himself, like, get the position up. But obviously, it's timed in terms of how much time you've got to lose rather than losing a position. Alligator clearly didn't lose enough. He's back behind, back ahead now with Arenas, and Arbolino in the background. Looks like he's now got through on Albert Arenas. So Arbolino now up into the top 6.
So at the moment, as it stands, Jake Dixon on course for will be his best Grand Prix finish. You just saw there that graphic. A whole bunch of 3rd places. Second though, not what he's here for, his beloved Assen. He's here for the first victory. He said pre-weekend he loves Assen, probably his favourite circuit. The next 2 races, of course, Silverstone's home Grand Prix in early August. You do feel that big opportunities for Jake Dixon to take the victory here, and he is right now on Lopez's case. We start lap 10 of 22, and here comes Jake Dixon. He's going to go from the inside. He took the forward, didn't he, there on the previous lap? That's where Dixon's strong. He's got real confidence on the front and the back. Callum's machine braking hard into first corner, but Lopez at the moment is just about holding on.
Marshall's running in the background. Someone's gone down there into the first corner. Somkiat Chantra, who's gone down. So just as his teammate loses second place, Somkiat Chantra has clearly lost the front going into R1. So his 100% point scoring record in 2023 is over.
Yeah, he does the walk of shame, accompanied by one of the marshals. Happy though to see that Chantra is A-OK. Lopez then now. How much longer can he withstand this onslaught coming from Dixon? He'll know as well that Agura and Acosta are also firmly in this hunt. Further back than is Aldeguer and Arbolino. He's going to have to come in pretty sharpish for this long lap penalty, isn't he, Aldeguer? Otherwise there's going to be more punishment coming his way from the end by the GP stewards. We're on board then with Arbolino. Through turn number 9 he goes, left-handed, the ball right at the top of the circuit. Now through Mandevay, the lead quartet go. Fair play to Acosta, he made that mistake on the front of the Schwimmer a couple of laps ago. It's taken him very, very little time to regain his cool composure, and now he is right on the rear tyre of Agura again.
There's a reminder to Aldeguer, if he doesn't serve that long lap penalty next time around, he might be able to come through there twice in the future. Arbolino will be very keen to see Aldeguer disappear out of that long lap penalty, because he'll be...
We're on board with Dixon, knocks him back 2 gears for the second gear, De Bolt. Full focus, full attention on the 79 right directly ahead of him. This is a big moment for both of these guys. Dixon on the brink of his breakthrough, first Grand Prix victory, and Agura looking to put all of his recent heartache behind him for the tough few months, hasn't it? Losing the World Championship late on last year with 2 crashes in Sepang and Valencia, and then all the injury woes he's had. This would be a brilliant response from the Japanese rider, but he is going to have to work so hard over these last 2 laps now and 3 corners, because the pressure from Dixon is coming.
Arbolino doing his level best to limit the damage to his championship lead. He's just gone through on the fast fading Alonso Lopez. We saw Dixon earlier go past Agura into the first corner, and he's doing it again.
Oh, they almost touched, and Agura's going to go wide. Agura's going to go off the circuit, nothing you can do about that. They were side by side coming out of the Timber chicane, and Dixon just squeezed the inside line. Acosta's got to come through for another long lap. He hasn't seen that message as yet. There could be a time penalty post-race coming the way of Acosta. The long lap or the post-race time penalty will clearly dump it off the podium, no question about that. This is the move then. Side by side they go. Dixon just chopping the nose up there, wasn't he? He squeezed to the left there. It was a pretty aggressive move. There we are in the back of the Honda Team Asia garage. Crew chief Norman Rank there. You can clearly see what he felt with that move. The will have a close look at it, won't they? Arbolino, another rider to get a track limits warning. When all's said and done, as we try and catch our breath at the end of this breathless Dutch TT here in Moto2, it is Jake Dixon that has a monumental advantage now, halfway down the second to last lap.
We haven't had a message yet on our timing screens that Acosta's got a second long lap penalty there. Surely going to be taking a look at it, because we showed you the replay as he came to the long lap. So Pedro Acosta well within his rights at the moment to continue out there in 3rd place, but it looked clear as day to us, looking from up here, that Acosta did cut it, but he might have a struggle to hold on to that place. Anyway, Celestino Vietti's got a long lap penalty. He's back in 8th, but long lap or not, Aldeguer might well still take this 3rd place from Acosta.
Well, with the naked eye, it looked pretty clear cut, didn't it, that Acosta had cut onto the green going for a long lap penalty. Yeah, maybe with all the cameras and the CCTV that the F1 MotoGP stewards have, they've seen better than us, but yeah, for the naked eye, it did look like that was the case. Last lap underway then here at the end of a breathtaking Dutch TT as Aldeguer tried to find a way through on Acosta. So Acosta at the moment well within his rights and perfectly able to do so to try and hang on to this hard-earned podium. Vital World Championship points to stay giving him. Aldeguer gets him on the inside though. That's a brilliant move by Aldeguer. Podium place beckons for him.
First time in his career that will be a podium, although Acosta's coming back through now on the beach lane. Acosta will have that inside line and into the Rushkin hook. Acosta regains 3rd place. It's come up on our timing screens. Pedro Acosta, long lap penalty completed. He's in the clear.
Well, there you go then. Long lap penalty completed for Pedro Acosta. So here we go. Dixon, he is just now, 9 corners away from a moment that he has dreamt of his whole life. He's won races throughout his career in the British Superbike Championship as well. Coming to Assen, he felt like this was going to be his best opportunity yet. He wanted his 74th Grand Prix start, and now it is all in the hands of the number 96. Into into the final sector now. He powers 1.3 seconds clear of Ayagura and Jake Dixon. Now this battle continues to rage between Acosta and Aldeguer for the final place on the podium, but it is going to be through the tip of chicane for the final time. Pure and utter Dutch delight for Dixon as he takes his career